Good afternoon. I was asked by a friend to read an article that he wrote on his Facebook group and give a video interpretation on how I feel about the subjects. And he was talking about magic, and he had a lot of wonderful questions in there. And so I wrote down a lot of the key points that I wanted to discuss with you today. First one is, what is real magic? Well, we can't define that quite yet. We have to define what magic is. And magic, to me, is a paranormal skill, a paranormal event, or paranormal exercise. The key word here is paranormal. And if you were to look up the definition of paranormal, you would see that it means anything beyond science. If we do not quite understand anything, then it is a paranormal activity, a paranormal occurrence. It's that simple. However, the limitations to this is once we understand it and it can be proven using scientific theory, then it stops becoming paranormal, it stops being magic and becomes science fact. So that is how I define magic. He's asked, how powerful is magic? What are the limitations? Magic, by my definition, is the sending out of subtle energies to influence the outcome and change in the world around us. So, subtle energies means that we can't do massive changes. In the article, my friend asked about, closing your eyes and making a candle ignite. And no, you can't do that. We cannot make anything appear out of nowhere. That is not feasible. We can affect it once it's already created, because there have been many videos, many exercises in which a person can take their hands and manipulate the flame by making it intensify or diminish. That has been shown. How is not quite known, and thus it is paranormal. Okay. We cannot do telekinesis, which is the moving of a solid object. Once something is in place, the laws of physics simply state that an object will stay at rest until it is acted upon by a physical force. Our magic, our energies are not physical, and thus they cannot cause an object to move. He asked about healing herbs. Is it aromatherapy and medicine or magic? And what I said before is very important here. Healing herbs is not magic, because we take certain herbs to do certain things. Aromatherapy talks about the smells of herbs, and it is science, it is not magic, because certain herbs do certain things. Our receptors in our nose, where we smell with, are just like taste buds. And thus, certain electrical impulses are created and sent to the brain, and thus we can register it. Well, these impulses then can affect our body. There was an interesting study about smelling rosemary, how it would, in moments, increase your memory skill. That is essentially aromatherapy, to increase your mental alertness, your ability to your short-term and long-term memory. Another great example is clove oil. When I was a kid, I had a couple bad teeth and back, and before we could get to the dentist, my dad would grab this little jar of clove oil and put a couple drops on that particular tooth. Tasted like crap. I hate cloves, but it did the job. It numbed the tooth, and that has been able to be proven time and time and time again, and thus through scientific methods, it is no longer magic, it is fact. If using herbs was magical, you would be able to take clover, which you can find anywhere, and use it to treat all sorts of ailments, but you can't. You need a specific herb to create a specific result. Okay, it is that simple. It is not magic, it's science. It is just not fully practiced and studied as it should be. A lot of doctors will go and they'll look at the chemical equation. They will not say, oh, this is in said plant. They're going to look at the chemical, not the plant. Okay. Hollywood stereotypes of magic and their misconceptions. Yes, that has done a lot of damage on a lot of people's views of magic. Because we have things like Harry Potter where this person is supposed to grab his wand, say a few words, and there it is. Magic does not work that way. Like I said, it's subtle. We can send out energies to gradual effect on something. We can't go there, done. It's not feasible. Hollywood has also made this interpretation that magic is bad, that like the craft, if you're dealing with magic somehow, you're corrupt, you're evil, you are satanic. And that is further from the truth. I did a video a few years ago talking about prayer. You see, now prayer, if you think about it, is a form of magic as well. What people are doing is they're putting their hands together, they're putting their heads down, they're closing their eyes, they're literally envisioning and focusing energy. They're putting it in their hands, and when they say amen and they open up their hands, they are releasing the energy. That is subtle magic right there. The churches will not tell you that, but that's what it is. That is what a prayer bomb is all based upon. So you got to forget about what Hollywood has said about magic, because you have people that are selling movies, and so they're going to make it extremely powerful, how you can take a spell and turn somebody into a toad or whatever. That's not the case. Okay, meditation. Can it influence the real world? Yes, it can. Remember, when you are in a meditative state, you are opening your mind, your subconscious, you are changing your brain wave, your rate, and thus you're able to send out more focused energy. And this is a way to get the results that you're wanting. So yes, meditation can be a form of magic, and it will also clear the mind, so when you're more alert, you are able to focus your energies better to also create spells. So meditation, while it's not magic, it will assist in magic. Then there was another question on that, was, does magic just alter your point of view? No. Magic is outgoing. Here's your focal point, and when you are releasing, sending out energy, it's going out. So it's not changing who you are on the inside, it just changes the world around you. So no, it does not change your point of view. This one part I disagree with that he wrote. He was talking about internal magic versus external magic. And because he internalizes things. And you see, this I view as wrong, because are we not a part of the universe? Are we not part of this world? I can interact with this pen easy, my mouse, anything. I can physically interact with because I am a part of this world. By saying that we are internalizing ourselves, we are creating a barrier between me and the world. That there is some mystical barrier that separates us, and that's not the case. I am a part of this world. I'm a part of this universe. Everything that I say, think, do affects things around me. So there is really no internal and external magic. It's just magic. Money spells was also mentioned, and they are pointless. You cannot cast a money spell and expect to get results. And I say this because money is a man-made object. It is a man-made concept. Nature does not have a concept of money. So since magic is nature-based, it cannot comprehend the needing of this paper stuff to help pay bills. It just has no concept. It is kind of like having a kindergartner explain quantum entanglement. There is no way that a kindergartner can understand it, and so they can't explain it. They can't rationalize it. So all money spells are a joke. You can do an abundance spell as long as you're not asking for money, money, money. You could do an abundance spell and, ask for food. Now that is something Mother Nature can understand. You can ask for shelter. That is something Mother Nature can understand. But tickets to the Super Bowl, not going to happen. Love spells. Now you see, I think love spells are a joke. You cannot make somebody fall in love with you. No matter how much you want it and all that, there is an effect on a love spell, but it is minute. A love spell can only open up the door. You cannot cast a love spell and treat somebody like a piece of crap and expect them to love you. The only thing that the love spell can do is open up the door. And that is it. So let's say there is a wonderful person in the room that you were wanting to get to know on a better basis. You think that this person is a wonderful, decent person, somebody that's worth knowing. So you cast your love spell, and it's not going to bring this person in love with you. It is just going to open up that door. Just that much. The rest of it's up to you. And this is something that he was talking about. Magic only assists or speeds up an action. You still have to act accordingly and try. As I say, it opens up the door for you to fall in love with somebody and have somebody fall in love with you. No spell can do it all. It is a subtle change, a subtle option. If you watch the movie Hitch with Will Smith, all he ever talked about was these little openings, these little chances that will open up the door for a greater possibility. And that is how magic works. I'm also reminded of a joke. That wasn't a joke, it was a little story. This guy, he was a doubter in the gods, and he was going and saying, if I win the lottery, I will believe in you. And he goes, I will give you a week, 1 week, to prove yourself to me. And, day after day, he would complain, hey, I didn't win the lottery yet. Hey, where's my money? Well, on the 6th day, here came the goddess. And the goddess says, you have to buy a lottery ticket first. Okay? Magic only does so much. Which also goes into another comment. Is magic about burning the right candles and incense? And it's not. Now, you got to remember that the candles, the atomies, the incense, the music and everything are tools. They are to help you focus on your power, upon your energy. So if you build up this elaborate ritual, every little thing is in place. It's because you put more thought, energy into it. Well, I got my gold candle there. I got my black candle there. I got these frankincense incense right here. You put a lot of thought into it. And so you have this ritual area where you put all this energy in, and then you cast your ritual. And so all this energy manifests, and you focus it, and you send it out. So, do you need a certain candle? No, you don't. Do you need certain herbs? No, not really. It is about having the right tools to help you focus in a ritual. And that's, the way I look at it. Because, this, like I've been saying here, spells are subtle. And they are not something that, well, I got all my ducks in a row, it's an automatic. It doesn't work that way. And unfortunately, too many people think that it's an automatic, and nothing is. Made a comment about, is knowing animal behaviors and predicting future events magic? No, it's not. It's about knowing your surroundings. It's about interacting with the world around you. Watching birds can predict a storm. Seeing how the birds move, it kind of lets you know, well, maybe something's going on there. Same thing with cats. Oh gosh, I got 4 cats, and when they start acting a little weird and all that, it's usually an indicator that a thunderstorm's coming. Or if there's a full moon, they are really, really rambunctious when we got a full moon. So it's not magic, it is a science. Because if you can study it and it happens time and time and time again, it is a proven item. It becomes science. Can we curse someone to die? Yes, we can. To die like that? No. Future is fluid. Anything could happen in the future. And just like we are full of energies and thoughts, other people are full of energies and thoughts. So if you can manipulate subtly those energies in that other person, you could make them sick. You could make them die. But the question is, do you really want to? And he made a comment also with the way he handles or views magic. Because herbs are a science, is it less magical? And the answer is yes, but no. You see, as I was mentioning about the clove oil, okay, yeah, it's no longer mysterious and magical. It's a fact. Clove oil will numb teeth if you're having a toothache. But does it make it any less real? No. It becomes fact. It doesn't lose its energies and all because it's been proven. It gives structure to other things. Because if you have a list of all these herbs that do certain things, then it gives you strength and a foundation to work with. And so that makes things even better. It might not seem mystical, but it doesn't mean that it's not real. And the last thing is, are omens only from an external intelligence, and who decides if they have any meaning? Omens, in my mind, are interactions with energy. Okay, you have your own energy field, you know, your aurora and such. And because we broadcast energies, we are mingling with the world around us. We are part of this world. So how energy A and energy B react creates an instance. And it is this instance that could create an omen. And so it's not about an external intelligence interacting with you. It's just the world around you interacting with you. Who decides if it has meaning? You do. And you are the only one that can decide if an event has meaning. Because we see a lot of things every day. But there are only some times where an event happens and it's like screaming at you. I got to draw on one of my experiences. Several years ago, I was woken up. We were having a severe thunderstorm. And I went out to the porch, and right in front of the apartment building that I was living in was this old van with the luggage rack on top. And during this chronic torrential downpour, an owl flew over and landed on that luggage rack and faced me. That doesn't make any sense. Why would an owl fly and sit in the middle of a torrential downpour? It's illogical. It must be a reason why. Doesn't mean anything to anybody else, but means a lot to me. So if you have an event and it screams at you, it's like, wait, whoa, that's interesting. Then it is only important to you. Okay. So anyway, those are my responses to some of the questions that were asked. If you feel like I've said something that you don't agree with, or I'm off a little bit, please leave a comment down below, because the only way we're going to learn is if we share our ideas together. Take care. Be at peace.